progress. Even the tiniest step is holy. Did you speak truth over yourself today? Did you pause instead of reacting? Did you pray or journal? That is momentum. That's forward momentum. Sometimes we overlook these small wins, but they're what build a strong foundation for lasting change. Hey girlfriend, welcome to Her Redemption Story. If you've ever felt stuck, carrying weight you weren't meant to, or wondered if God could make something new out of your story, you're in the right place. I'm Morgan, a wife, a storyteller, and faith-led encourager walking this journey with you. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's dive into today's episode because your redemption story starts here. Today we're doing a deep dive into healing as reclaiming your life, the next layer of the last episode. We'll explore how to really solidify your identity, rewrite your story at a deeper level, anchor yourself in God, choose your circle wisely, and create lasting momentum. Stay with me till the end. I've got practical brand new steps that you can start today. In the last episode, we talked about reclaiming your life, naming your identity, rewriting your story, building anchor practices, choosing your circle, and celebrating small wins. I want to say this out loud because some of you are carrying a lot right now. This is for your heart and your healing. This is not for perfection or performance because this is between you and God. If you listened to the last episode, you heard me talk about reclaiming your life and the 5 steps to start creating your identity intentionally. And today, I don't want to just teach you something. I want to tell you a story because for a long time, I didn't need more information. I needed to know that someone else had been where I was and they didn't stay there. And maybe that's you right now. Maybe you're tired of starting over. Maybe you're tired of promising yourself this is the last time. Maybe you're tired of feeling like you're always a few steps behind. Maybe you're tired of feeling like your life has been more about surviving than living. There was a season of my life where I didn't feel like a person. I felt like a collection of mistakes, regrets, coping mechanisms, and shame. I didn't wake up thinking, what does God want to build in me? I woke up thinking, how do I get through today without falling apart? And maybe you know that place. The moment I realized I wasn't actually living, I remember realizing one day that my whole life had become reactionary. I wasn't choosing my life. I was reacting to my past, reacting to my pain, reacting to my triggers, reacting to other people. And I remember thinking, is this it? Is this just who I am now? And underneath that was a much scarier thought. What if I never change? I loved God, but I didn't know how to live free. And I think a lot of women are right there. So I'm going to go through these steps, but I want to do it in a way that is so raw and honest that you truly do hear from me and not just more steps to put in place and you don't really know how to do that. So step 1, naming my identity when I didn't even believe it for myself. When people would talk about identity in Christ, I honestly felt disconnected from that because the words I used for myself were too much broken, messy, hard to love, a burden, a mistake. So when I started praying things like, God, I want to be a woman who walks in freedom. I want to be gentle. I want to be emotionally safe. I want to be someone who doesn't lash out at every single thing and every person around me. It felt dishonest, like I was pretending, but I kept saying them anyway. Sometimes out loud, sometimes, but probably most times in tears, sometimes almost angrily. And what I didn't realize was I wasn't describing who I was agreeing with God about who He was growing. That was the first tiny shift. Step 2, rewriting my story when shame had the loudest voice in my life. There were parts of my past that I avoided thinking about, and I mean really avoided. Because when I did, the stories always ended with, this is your fault. You ruined everything. You should have known better. And I remember sitting with a journal one night and finally saying, God, how do you see this? And that was scary because I thought he would confirm my worst fears. But instead, he started showing me where I was wounded before I was sinful, where I was surviving and not scheming, where he was with me even when I couldn't see him. And that didn't erase the memories or the trauma, but it did erase the lie that I was just a failure. That had been a lie from the very beginning. I just didn't realize that because it had become my reality and my identity. And for the first time, my story started to look like redemption and not just regret. Step 3, anchor practices when I had no strength. I didn't suddenly become this disciplined, consistent person. My first anchor practice was honestly just sitting on my bed and saying, God, I don't know how to do this. Sometimes it was one verse. Sometimes it was one honest prayer. Sometimes it was just sitting in the quiet. And I was inconsistent when I first started. So if any of this stuff feels or seems like it's just too far for you, trust me, if you just stick to it, you will see that over time, those small spaces, just the one step, the one thing that you do over time, instead of running, instead of spiraling, instead of numbing, instead of self-destructing, this is where you're going to learn true and real and long-lasting freedom and healing. Over time, that small space became where I went instead of where I ran. So for me, instead of spiraling, numbing, and self-destructing, it was not because I was strong. It was because I was learning where I was safe. Step 4, choosing my circle. Man, when I tell y'all, this was the most painful part. This part cost me the most. And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. That's the whole point of the reason why I wanted and felt so strongly about where God was leading me in this, and that I want to give you notes and guides and having the Facebook community. All of these things are put in place because I'm going to keep it up front, real and raw, because that's what I wish someone would have done for me. This part cost me the most because my healing required distance. Distance from environments, distance from patterns, and distance from, sadly, yes, people that I really loved. God literally moved me out of my old house. I had to step away from people I didn't yet know how to set boundaries with. I had to delete social media and start over because my mind was being fed things that kept me stuck. And I knew it was. I knew the endless scrolling. I knew the things that was making me compare to everyone else, making me envy other people and think that my life was the worst out of everybody and everything that I went through. All of the things, it was all lies. It was all deception. And that's what social media does. And we don't even realize it. We just think that, oh, we're getting on our phone. No, we're not only stuck in wasted time, but we're being fed all of this stuff that we shouldn't even know about. We were not created to know every single thing about every single person around the world. We were not meant to carry all of the weight of knowing every single thing that's going on the news and all the things. I mean, I could go on and on and on. We were not meant for that. We live in a generation and a culture where all of these things have become the forefront of our mind and the reality of our lives, and it is so destructive. And that was the best thing that ever happened to me. When I deleted not only my social media, but I deleted my old accounts and created new ones. And then I started turning my notifications off because I didn't need to be notified every time someone posted something or whatever. It just keeps you stuck. It's a lapse. And then your life, you blink and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 20 years go by and you're in the same place you've always been. That season was quiet, it was lonely, and it was uncomfortable because I was stepping out of the things that I had known. But it was also the season where I finally started to grow. Finally. And where I could see it. Not at first. I couldn't become someone new while staying in the same world that shaped the old me. Step 5, learning to see progress. For most of my life, I only saw what was wrong with me. So even when I was changing, I couldn't see it at first. God had to teach me to celebrate one boundary, one honest prayer, one different choice. And that changed my relationship with myself, with how I saw myself, with how I loved myself. I didn't even know what that meant because I stopped living like a constant failure and started living like a woman in the process of becoming. The deeper truth that I need you to understand, none of this was fast, none of this was perfect. This was Jesus walking with me when I didn't know how to walk yet. And He is doing the same with you. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, I want this, but I am tired, that's okay. You don't need to change your whole life today. Just take one small step. Jesus is not rushing you. He's not disappointed in you. He's walking with you, and you are not behind. Don't you dare believe the lie that the enemy has told you. You're not behind. You are becoming. You are here right now. And if you want help walking this out, there's free guides in the description below, and I'm popping in my brand new Facebook page that is a group community of other women who are just like you. It's a safe space for women to lean on each other, hold each other accountable, and they're all in the same healing journey as you. I love you so much. This is all gonna flow into all of these steps. So now I'm gonna get into breaking it down in a more actionable way. We're going even deeper. We're going to explore practical ways to live those steps out daily and see real transformation in your heart, in your relationships, and your walk with God. Reclaiming your life isn't just noticing what's broken and deciding to fix it. It's claiming your story, your identity, and your choices back from the past. So for me, deep reclaiming my life started when I began asking, who do I want to become? And not just who do I want to stop being? That question changed everything. Instead of trying to erase old patterns, I began intentionally building new patterns, new beliefs, and new ways of showing up. Healing became proactive and not reactive. Naming your identity isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily declaration, a way to anchor yourself in who God says you are. So try this. Write down 3 statements that feel truthful, like, I am whole, I am loved, I am equipped to step into my calling. Then say them out loud to yourself slowly and intentionally. Let God's truth sink in where old lies used to live. One of the most freeing things you can do is rewrite your story with God's perspective. Think of a moment that has haunted you, a choice, a mistake, or a hurt. Write down what really happened, including the lies you believed about yourself. Then I want you to rewrite it with God's perspective. I am forgiven. I am being refined. I am not defined by this moment. So when you do this repeatedly, what it does is it rewires your brain, your emotions, and even your daily choices because it comes to life. It literally becomes your anchor, your reality. And when we build anchor practices, so anchor practices are those sacred habits that pull you back to God consistently. So take a look at your current week. Is there a moment to pause, journal, pray, or reflect for just a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes? Choose one small anchor to practice daily this week. The consistency matters more than the length or the intensity. So tiny anchors compound into huge transformation. Your circle really does matter. I really hit on this in the last episode because nothing would have changed in my life if it wasn't for me getting out of the environment that I was in and stepping into a brand new environment and a brand new circle and completely starting to set boundaries and not be around the same things that I was used to being around. Your circle matters, so it either lifts you into freedom or it keeps you stuck in old cycles. So take inventory of your relationships. Who encourages you? Who distracts you? Who challenges you to grow? Who does not? Who keeps you stuck? Keep repeating the same cycles. Who encourages your old ways that you really don't even like about yourself? Make one small intentional choice this week, a boundary, a new connection, or even just more time with a safe person. Healing is communal. It's not solitary. We cannot do this by ourselves. We have to have others in our corner. And finally, celebrating forward momentum. So celebrate your progress. Even the tiniest step is holy. Did you speak truth over yourself today? Did you pause instead of reacting? Did you pray or journal? That is momentum. That's forward momentum. Sometimes we overlook these small wins, but they're what build a strong foundation for lasting change. So let's recap. Healing is reclaiming your life. It's not just recovery. Name your identity out loud daily. Rewrite your story through God's perspective. Build anchor practices consistently, the things that bring you back to God. Choose your circle intentionally. Celebrate every forward step. Each step compounds into real transformation. So here are your practical steps. It's 5 of them. So write 3 I am statements and say them out loud daily. Number 2, rewrite one past story with God's perspective. Number 3, pick one anchor practice and commit to doing it daily this week. Evaluate one relationship and make one intentional choice. Number 5, celebrate one forward step that you took today. You're deepening, you reclaiming your life step by step, and that is holy work. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, a friend, a sister, someone ready to reclaim their life, send this episode to her, because God often uses someone sharing to make someone else feel like they're not alone. And I cannot wait to see you in the next episode for part 3. Hey girlfriend, I hope you loved today's episode. If it encouraged you, share it with a friend who might need a reminder that God's not done with their story. And leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up knowing that this show is helping you. I'll see you back every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central for another episode. So bye for now. Go live your redemption story.